Hello, it's Gunnar here again from Buff Nerf Repeat, and we're continuing with our free-to-play Hearthstone decks for new players, and today is the turn of the Shaman class. This is the deck I've created here. It's costed in at 1,260 dust. It's a little bit more expensive than the first couple of decks that we ran through, but in similar costs to recent decks. So again, it features no epics or legendary cards and a limited number of rare cards. So really good for new players who want to find out if they want to get into Hearthstone, if they want to spend money, invest their time, and they just want to play a few games, maybe win a few games on ladder at the low ranks to make that decision. So this is the kind of deck that you can build after a few hours of play, no problem at all. You don't have to spend any money on this. Let's go through the list and talk about how we intend to win games. So starting with the Argent Squire, we've seen him pop up in quite a number of our free-to-play decks. Really good one-drop, really good when in terms of buffing this minion with other minions like the Flame Tongue Totem or the Direwolf Alpha. Earthshock, really good for getting through taunts. Firefly, again, one of the best one-drops in the game. Got a couple of those in here. Lightning Bolt, deal 3 damage, that can go face, so a little bit of extra reach. Direwolf Alpha, adjacent minions +1, so just going to play this hopefully in the middle of a couple of minions, push a bit of extra damage. Same can be said for Flame Tongue Totem. Primal Fin Totem is really good. It's a rare card, but it's just going to keep supplying minions to our board really until it's killed, so it's really good for cards like Bloodlust in future turns. Stormforge Axe is just going to help us maybe clear off a few minions without having to trade in our minions to do so. So good board control card. Mana Tide Totem is our card draw. It's also a rare card. Raid Leader. It's going to do a good job at buffing our minions, buffing the attacks anyway of all the minions on board, including our totems, which is our hero power as Shaman. Unbound Elemental works really well with our overload cards. Cards like Lightning Bolt and Stormforged Axe, for example. Dark Iron Dwarf is a cheap costed 4-drop, which gives 2 attack to a minion this turn. Hex for pesky creature removal. Mad Hatter, really good in a deck like this, especially if we manage to clear our opponent's side of the board. Wind Speaker, a little bit of Wind Fury action, works really well with Bloodlust or with a Flame Tongue Totem. Cobalt Scalbane, it's a great 5-drop, it sees play in a lot of high-end decks. Fungal Mancer, I've seen this card in pretty much all of our decks. It's so low cost and it's really good in aggro decks. Stormwind Champion, pretty good. It's a free card, so sticking it in here. And Bone Mare used to see loads of play until it got nerfed, but I think it's got a place in this deck at only 40 dust. Okay, let's give it a spin and see how we do.
Versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
For Doomhammer.
Okay, we got a priest up first here. I think we can keep the totem, the Primal Fin Totem here. So the game plan here is simply to flood the board and to try and end the game as quickly as possible with like a Bloodlust, so buffing all our attacks of all our minions to kill our opponent in one turn by the time they have a chance to react. So it's just about developing a big board here and going from there. Fun fact, this one card in our opponent deck is more costly than our whole deck put together. Legendary cards cost 1,600 to craft. Okay, so the roll worked really well with the helium totem there. He get to heal our minions back up, and as you can see, it's early doors here, and we've established quite a big board. It's fitting the game plan quite well. Haven't really done much damage so far to our opponent. The Master Spell doesn't matter too much here with Bloodlust in hand, and the Mad Hatter's going to come down now and hopefully buff up some minions. We can get some tax in. Kind of want to play 5-drop actually on 5 mana. I feel like the Mad Hatter's got better value here though, I don't know. Let's have a think about this for a second. I think we go with a 5-drop here. 5-drop on 5 mana seems okay. Incidentally, if he does nothing to our board here, I was going to say if he does nothing to our board we have lethal. But he's cleared a few of our minions off. And I think it's just time to refresh really here. And push a little bit of damage at the same time. So again, Mad Hatter's going to come down. And we're going to hero power. So the Bloodlust represents 3 attack for each minion on board. So we've got 5 minions on board, so that's 15 damage.
Come dance to my song.
So then we just add up what's already on board, and it's quite a lot, so it's well overkill here. So this is a good example of how this deck wins games. Just get minions on the board, buff them up with a Bloodlust, and you should be able to surprise kill your opponent like this. Now, we were against a very slow deck there. That was like a combo priest trying to kill us in one turn itself in the late game with little board clears up until turn 7 when they have like Psychic Scream and stuff, but we managed to kill them before that, so that was a good kind of matchup for us. So they're the kind of matchups you're going to win. Maybe if we queue up again we get a more aggro deck, and we'll see how we do against that.
Versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild. For Doomhammer.
Okay, once again, we're just going to look for the 1 and 2 drops here. Try and establish an early board presence. We've got a 1-drop. These cards are not necessarily great against Druid. Finding that Bloodlust again would be good. Just going to hero power here. Don't really want to play the Flame Tongue when you only have 1 minion on board. It's best to try and get value from having at least 2 minions.
What to do? Time waits for no one.
So the problem with this strategy against Druid is they have a card called Spreading Plague, and it's basically going to completely nullify what we want to do here as a deck. But that's our game plan. That's what we got to do. So we're going to hope our opponent doesn't have that card, and we're just going to play the same way we normally would, because we can't really do anything different. Our game plan is our game plan. Unfortunate that our opponent had both Wraths in his first 9 cards. So playing the Flame Tongue there was a bit of a risk to like a swipe or obviously the second Wrath, but unlikely he had it. So got a bit unfortunate there. Clearing off that 1/1 makes me think he doesn't have Spreading Plague though, because I'm not sure you'd attack into that 1/1, you'd probably just leave it on board. You're not dead to a Bloodlust or anything on my turn 5, so I would have left it on. Really could do with like a decent minion here, like a Scalbane or something like that. Or a Fungal would be good. Off the top. Or a Mad Hatter even. It's not great, but we'll take it. I think we're dead to Spreading Plague anyway, so we're just going to play this out. Just in case we top deck a Bloodlust. So ideally here he doesn't have Spreading Plague and he plays a minion and we top deck Bloodlust and we win the game. We've got 15 damage represented at the moment. Seven on board. Oh, our opponent left, so not really counting that one as a win. But I guess he just didn't have a decent hand. Didn't have a Spreading Plague hand. We got to play again, haven't we? Can't be having that as the win. We'll scratch that one. Maybe edit it out, maybe not. It's quite a good example of a game though, in the early part, and how we might struggle as a deck. And how you just need to play your minions and just hope your opponent doesn't have certain cards. Especially when you've got one game plan to win the game.
Thrall versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
For Doomhammer.
Okay, part of me wants to keep the Bloodlust. I think it's such an important card in this deck. Yeah, we're going to keep it. I'm not sure if it's right, but I feel like having that burst available, like we saw in the first game, and even in the second game, if we'd have top decked the Bloodlust, we'd have had a great chance at winning, even before our opponent left.
My magic will tear you apart.
So our opponent goes Mana Worm on 1, best one drop in the game. I think we're going to cline out this guy. He just contests the mana worm. And it's going to pose a slight problem for our opponent. He can't frostbolt it and ping it in the same turn, so... Not the greatest hand. Starting to think it was a mistake keeping the Bloodlust now. Especially against a more aggressive mage that plays, obviously, mana worms and such.
We have many secrets.
Yep. This is the kind of hand that you will struggle to beat.
The light protects me.
So the plan now is to try to get at least 2 minions to stick for turn 5, and then hopefully big fungal turn will be able to put him under a little bit of pressure, and then hopefully we're looking for maybe like a turn 7 or 8 kill with Bloodlust. So we're hoping his hand is a little bit slower here, and he doesn't have too much minion pressure. The good thing is our opponent is trading a lot. Oh, I thought he was going to trade then. Initially, it looked like he was going to. Yeah, we're struggling here, sadly. Okay, I guess we got a floater mana here, sadly. We could make a preemptive trade here. I don't think that's worth it. I don't think we're going to get those 2 creatures to stick for turn 5, sadly. Our opponent's playing actually a deck that's probably a tier 2 deck at the moment, is Aggro Mage. You'll find it in high legend gameplay. Not with this card though, it's a bit strange. The Hex would be good here. No Hex. But we do get some Fungal Mancer value at least. Not really going to trade into there at the moment though, so I think we just hold here. Yep. Play the Fungal now because there's no other time to play it. We're never going to have 2 minions on board, otherwise it's just going to be a dead hand in our deck, and this buffs his minions, this does nothing. Another secret here, yeah. His opponent's got a really good hand. I don't think there's any win in this game, sadly. So how do we avoid taking loads of damage? I guess this only takes 3. Oh, and it's bugged on me, but it doesn't really matter too much because we're trading anyway. Okay, so we're down to 9 here, and we have no healing in the deck, and he's on 30. And our minion gets pinged off, so we're in a bad shape. Yep, Fireball from the Glyph. Just absolute perfect hand. Not sure we can do much about that one, sadly. Got a golden bloodlust though. That's always good news. I feel like I want to go again. I feel like that was an unreasonable game with an unreasonable hand from my opponent.
Thrall versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine for Doomhammer.
The light protects me. I fight.
Why do you call?
Okay. Thinking this might be a decent flame tongue turn.
I fight.
Just get the free bump. Hopefully we don't walk into a defile here, because that would suck. It might have been a mistake to play the Firefly.
Truth is found in death.
Oh, nice. Discarded a coin. Goodie for you. I think I like drawing some cards here.
I fight.
Playing some minions. We'll just push face here. I don't really care about trading into that.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
Okay, axe is a good pickup.
Elements guide me.
I fight.
Alright, we're going to be overloaded next turn, but we don't really have many cards at the moment anyway, so keeping the mana tide ticking over is a good thing. Buff chain gun sucks. We can silence one. I think I like that.
Elements guide me.
Don't really want to trade into that. Want to use the hero power as well here, I think.
The light protects me.
Push face a little bit here. There's the card you want. So he's most likely going to trade into the Dire Wolf here, I should imagine.
It's playtime.
Okay, I think we're going to start going wide again here. And let's hold. Draw a couple of cards. Got a big board here. Opponent's doing damage to himself, which always helps us. That card doesn't help us, sadly. Okay, let's have a think about this. So, weapon here, bloodlust here, leaves us with 3, 6, 9. We've got 3 mana left. 10, 11, 12, 2 off. How do we ever get the 2? I feel like this is the bloodlust turn. How do we ever get the 2 damage?
There's little time. I wonder. Mushroom power! Elements guide me.
I fight.
Right, I like this play because it keeps minions above 1 health, or apart from the one that obviously just spawned. So this still needs to make attacks, and it sets up lethal with the bloodlust with just 3 trades. So 3 trades leave 3 minions on board, and that's 3, 6, 9, 12. So that was the reason behind that play. So there's the 3 trades. Hopefully no taunt here. That was dying anyway, which is a bit strange. That was going to die to the AoE effects. I would have actually... yeah, we win now because of that. Strange play, that one. But yeah, we'll take it. So 6, and then we just add a little Wind Fury here. And we get the lethal. So opponent there should have actually mortal coiled the totem and given it 1 health, and then his AoE would have triggered, and it would have killed both minions. I'd have only had 1 minion on board, and I wouldn't have had lethal. But you know, low ranks, people make mistakes. There's the 2 wins. I kind of like this deck. It's quite fun at these ranks. It's nice to be able to burst people down. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're going to play this deck, I hope you have some success. Once again, disclaimer, this is for new players. Don't be thinking that this deck is going to help you out at, you know, the higher ranks. It's not. This is a cheap deck for new players who want to decide whether or not to play the game. So, yep, let me know what you think. We've got 2 classes to go, I believe. Warlock and Priest. Priest is going to be tricky. Warlock should be pretty easy. They'll be our next videos. Head on over to buffnerfrepeat.com and you can see the other videos in the series. You can also see the puzzle series where I go through and complete all the recent PvE content for Hearthstone. Yep. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, here's Gunner out.